Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
If you've been hurt in a road accident that wasn't your fault, you should really talk to G4 Claims first. Unlike road accident solicitors, we don't charge you for our services, which could see you better off. To keep 100% of your compensation, have a chat with Nicole and the team. You'll be glad you did. Search online for G4 Claims.
Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sellik, the Thunder podcast, and for the first time in our very short podcasting history, together as a trio, we can say welcome to the podcast that represents Celtic Football Club, champions of Scotland. Ladies and gents, we are the champions. We're on top, baby. It's official. We've known it's been coming for a few weeks now, but it is official. And as episode 62 kickstarts, you can see three lovely big smiles on the faces of us all here. Before we get into talking about how ecstatic we are, I'll start off with the typical question, because why not? Any 62s in our club's history that you can think of? There's two players. One that played for us in the 16-17 season.
Did they play for us?
Yeah, I'd say play as a stretch, yes. I'd say play as a stretch.
Ask me next episode for when he's 63s.
So there's Regan Hendry. He was 62. And then also there was a goalkeeper who wore the number 62 in the 08-09 campaign.
Not got a Scooby.
No got a clue. Oh, who cares? We're the champions anyway. That's what we're here to talk about.
Who was it?
It was Scott Fox.
Scott
Fox, there you
Ross
go.
County legend.
Yes, of course. Where do we even begin, boys? I mean, there was a game of football on last night, but I think that was overshadowed by the end result. I'm joined by McGinley and Cam Craig. McGinley, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I'm feeling
just pretty good.
No, I'm great. I'm ecstatic. Sorry. No, I'm absolutely delighted that we've got the job done. I've got to be honest. I wish we'd won the game last night, but we'll take the point. It's over. We're back. We're champions. You can't complain at all.
10 out of 11.
That's a dynasty. I said it last week and I get stick for it, but that is a dynasty.
How would you get stick for that? Where's the stick? That is a dynasty.
It's coming from the other end.
It is, but it's facts.
It is.
You know,
10 out of 11 is domination.
Yes, that is. It's up there with the Chicago Bulls. It's up there with the New England Patriots. It's up there with all
Every
these
sport.
dynasties in world football. We run Scottish football almost.
Very true.
Callum, you're on the other side of the table, mate. We've spent the morning sitting outside McGinley's house waiting for him to wake up.
Boys.
I don't imagine it's taken much off your mood though. It must still be buzzing from last night.
Definitely. I mean, as a current song goes for the fan songbook on top of the world, that's exactly how I'm feeling. It's what I'm feeling is like, since I put a post up said it took Rangers 10 years to bring it down, but it took us 10 months to get it back.
Beautiful.
That is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, and like, as much as we've been used to success in recent years, some people say, do you not get bored? Some people say, how can you be surprised? All this part. It's just this feels sweet. This one feels especially good.
See, if you've got a winning mentality, then it never gets boring, because it's just expected that we win the league. I never ever get bored of us winning the league.
Yep.
But I think I enjoy it even more because of what happened last season and where we were even at the start of this season to where we are now. It's just so enjoyable. I'm just so buzzing that we've got to where we are in such a short space of time. It's incredible. Yeah,
there's so much that we can talk about on this show, and there's probably a lot that we'll rehash from what we've said over the course of the season. We've said the same things time and time again about how we've exceeded expectation, about how we've defied all reality of what we thought could have been. But last night, Callum, especially when that full-time whistle went, it just kind of put everything into perspective, didn't it, about what we've worked towards this season, proving people wrong. And you've seen the emotion in the manager's face and in the manager's voice last night, and it gets you, it makes you go, wow, this is truly something special we've accomplished this season.
Definitely. I think even touching on the comments, like Yakimaxi's comments, towards the fan, this one's for them, just that sense, usually I don't want to see as much a pain in the arse when I say no, everybody gets it, but it seems that everybody in that dressing room most definitely gets it now, as if Ange and Cal Mack have proper instilled into them what it means to play for Celtic.
That's it. I mean, we're looking at a team full of players who you know, there was a lot of doubts over some players. Let's not forget that, you know. The fact is, you know, we had folk like Tony Ralston who we doubted at the start of the season. We had signings who may have not got off to the best start. We had players like Joe Hart coming in who we didn't know if their career would have been at a point that was good enough for Celtic. And you just look at everything that's happened over the course. I mean, what a special group of players we have now at this club. But you could never have pictured it the way it's turned out.
I know, and I think one of the perfect examples of how good a squad it is, or how good the dressing room is, was Juranovic's Instagram live last night. See the pelters he was getting off the players.
Aye.
And then at the end, Matt O'Reilly just says meow out of nowhere. Absolutely brilliant.
I only call it right as it stopped when he was
brilliant.
playing Queen.
I'd never even seen that, but I'd only seen the bit that he was playing Fireball. He was going to the West End, which was quite weird. I don't know if he was having an early night, getting ready for Saturday, because he might be back in the team for Saturday, which would be great to see. But it just shows you how good a dressing room this is, that they all get on together. And you see that after the games as well. Juranovic is pals with everybody. Hatate's messing about with everybody. It's absolutely brilliant. It just shows you, regardless of where they're from or what language they speak, they're all off the one hymn sheet. They're all playing for Celtic, and it's great to see. And that wasn't there last season.
No, absolutely not.
To be fair, there was circumstances which meant that there wasn't a lot of harmony. For different reasons, the pandemic was one of them. But it's so clear to see that the squad's united, and they're sort of striving towards the one thing, and they've got it.
Yeah, and I think that one thing that this season has done is made you know, just appreciate how quickly Ange has actually managed to do it. You know, the fact that this was a rebuild season and we've done all this. Now, one thing I don't want to get too carried away with in today's episode is touch on a lot of the things we'll probably cover over the next week, because we'll have our end of year awards like we did last year. We'll have our sort of recap when the season's actually over after Hearts, and we'll talk about a lot of the stuff on that. But you know, you can't help but escape all the kind of cliches and that today. It's really just a sort of overwhelming emotion of success now that it's just grabbing us all. Callum, I mean, I don't even know where to go next, because I'm just buzzing. I don't know. Like, if you could say anything to Ange Postecoglou right now, what would you say to him?
I fucking love you. Simple as that. That's all. Like,
Jacqueline McCafferty.
I fucking love you, man. That's the sound bite for this week's episode, right there.
Honestly, just what a job he's done. As Ross said, like,
amazing.
None of us expected this at the start of the season.
No.
Then we hit that point. I think you said it a couple of shows ago, McGinley. Basically said, we now expect this. As soon as we get that 6 point gap, we expect to go for the win now, nothing less. And look what it's got us.
One thing that has been extremely sort of apparent on social media over the last couple of weeks, and especially last night, I was getting it stinking for apparently, you know, first thing on my mind being Rangers. Now, let's touch on this very quickly, because I think it's something that has to be spoken about, and this isn't me turning the attention to Rangers. I couldn't give a fuck, in all honesty, but there seems to be a real sense of hypocrisy with Rangers fans at the minute in saying that all we care about is how little they care. Now, this is the same Rangers side who, I believe, when they won the league last season, all they could talk about was Celtic and Terry Monroe, as they called it. This is the same Rangers side who had us in their mouths constantly at the start of the season and saying that we couldn't do it. Going for 56, that B team could beat Celtic, that Postecoglou wasn't qualified to manage in this league. It's only now that it's starting to... They're very lucky they've got this Europa League final to fall back on, because there could be it could have been really embarrassing for them. And as I've said time and time again, I'm not saying it's lucky they're in that Europa League final, like they've worked hard to get there, but it's lucky they've got that to kind of disguise the fact that everything they said at the start of this season, Ryan, has just went the opposite direction.
I'll say it's been abject failure in the league.
Yep.
It's been a pitiful title defence, you've got to say, considering where they were in October, November.
An interesting fact, I know you're in the middle of talking again, I'll let you continue what you're saying, but one thing I want to throw out, and this is to put in perspective how good Celtic have been. This isn't even to do with Rangers. The last time we went to Tannadice in the league, we were 7 points behind Rangers.
I was there.
That's right, you were in hospitality, weren't you? We were 7 points behind Rangers.
Incredible.
And yesterday we went to Tannadice 6 points clear. So everything that you were about to say, I imagine, Ryan, ties in very nicely with that statistic alone. And it shows how hard we've worked.
Yes, they've dropped points, but look at our title form. Look at our run-in form. Or not even run-in form. We've been doing it since Livingston away. was it 31 games or something unbeaten?
Yep.
Something like that.
31 games.
31 games, that's title winning form, don't care what anybody says. And to get into those 31 unbeaten, Rangers haven't been able to beat us in the league apart from September, but even then we were going for a flux period. The games that have counted against them, we've came up trumps against them. It's absolutely brilliant. It just shows you that there's character throughout the team. There's nobody should be denying us this title. We absolutely deserve it. Ange deserves it. All the players deserve it because they've never stopped. As the catchphrase says, we've never stopped, and I'm buzzing.
If you had the chance, any of the 2 years, to look over the quote retweets to those videos, I put one up, but Matthew Duff's especially was full of Rangers fans taking the piss out of Ange for that day. You know, and it was just full.
It wasn't just Rangers fans. It was open goal as well.
That's right. I was
as if this was a sort of given that you're supposed to be a motivator. No, Ange is just built different, and everybody respects him. He is special. He's so lucky we've got him.
And Callum, I was going to come to you next. Back when we lost to Livingston at the Tony Macaroni back in, what was that, October, maybe September, October time last year. Ange came out after the game, and I think he was asked about the league title, and he said something along the lines of, we'll need a near perfect campaign to go and, you know, challenge for the title. We've had a near perfect campaign since that moment. I mean, How do you think the players responded that day? Do you think Ange has just since then inspired them beyond, like, how putting yourself in that changing room? It must have been something special that guy's done there to have this run of form.
No, definitely. I think, as I said, like, he's one of those, you'd love to be a fly in the wall in the changing room before the game, during the game, and after the game. It would just be so unreal just to hear him speak. But seriously, hear him speak in a general context.
Yep.
Everything he says, it's like, I couldn't be any more motivated. It's like, see the video use all this time. The guy, he's talking about drinking.
I will never stop drinking.
It's like, somehow it motivates you. He's just, what a man.
And we've seen the footage last night, of course, of the celebrations at Celtic Park. A lot of folk obviously made their way down to Celtic Park to welcome the team back from Dundee, and we've seen Ange Postecoglou with the megaphone talking to the crowd. There's a real sort of connection with Ange Postecoglou now that I've never felt with any other manager. As much as I loved Brendan, I mean, everybody knows me, I love Brendan Rodgers with all my fucking heart. I'll say that till I want to see him back at Celtic one day.
I think you will.
And there was a connection with Neil Lennon. There was, we can't deny it. There was a connection with Neil Lennon. There was a connection with Ronnie Dyler. There was a connection with Martin O'Neill. But this feels so special. This feels like something else. It's crazy.
It doesn't feel manufactured at all. It feels, because he's bought into the club the same time as a lot of the players have. The fans took a while to sort of get used to Ange, but once they did, it's not really wavered since then. It just feels so organic and natural, the love between Ange and the fans, and that's getting reciprocated. It's absolutely brilliant to have him at the helm of our football club. I'm proud to have Ange as a leader, you know. It gives you pride being able to talk about him, like in the pub when you're talking about your team. You're like, I'm just so glad he's our manager. And long may it continue. Get him signed up long term.
Yes, and if you can hear sirens, we do apologise. Hopefully that's not battered its way up into the microphone. That's the ambulance chasing going on.
I knew you were going to say that.
Callum, he came from the other side of the world. We were told he wasn't qualified. He's ended up with a double in his first season, and it just feels like we're getting started. That's the scary part. How much further can Ange Postecoglou go with this Celtic side now?
Realistically, the sky's the limit, let's be honest. I mean, you look at also what's happened on the other side of the city. If they can push us out of a Europa League final, you'd like to think now hopefully Ange can try and progress the football we're playing in Europe. Hopefully with that bigger budget, say, albeit it means, say, we take third place in the Champions League group, you drop it in that Europa League, see if you can get a nice wee run going in there. That's more than ideal. I think Europe's definitely the next step. It has to go in.
European football, maybe a treble as well. That would be nice.
Yeah. Should I get a treble?
I know it's sore. It's sore, but I mean, listen.
It's bad that we expect trebles at this stage, but that's just that winning mentality again.
But then again, let's be honest for a minute. If you sat me down in August and said that you win nothing but a league title this season, I would have chewed the hand off you.
Absolutely.
That was the aim, to try and get as close as a league title as possible. And even us sitting in this panel, I looked back on the podcast we done after losing to Hearts on the opening game of the season. It was just us two. We'd done a 2-man podcast, and we were positive, But there was those underlying tones of understanding that this season was never going to be easy. That this season was a league title was maybe a bit too far out our stretch. And now we sit here, almost a year later, so 10 months later, and we've done it. It's just quite hard to believe.
It's weird. It's weird that that's the same season. Even just looking back in the last game that we played, obviously not the Dundee game, but the Hearts game at the start of the season, we get beat 2-1 at Tynecastle. The same team we just beat 4-1 at home. It's incredible to think that's the same season.
Yeah.
Just shows you how good a job Ange has done in such a short period of time. He's a miracle worker.
Yep. 15 minutes into the show, so let's kind of dive into the game itself last night, and everything's positive. We'll dive into just a little bit. There's a couple of talking points, I suppose. Like, listen, don't want to be negative. You're right there, son.
Sorry, mate.
You're right there.
I'm alright.
Good.
All good.
So we played Dundee United, of course. The game wasn't the best game of football, but there's no room for negativity, I suppose. You just want to be positive in these situations. We will touch on it though. Callum, we got a good opening goal with Georgios Giacomakis, gave us the lead. We then conceded an absolute screamer of a goal from Dundee United. The game just felt a bit flat, didn't it, Callum? Despite obviously the celebrations afterwards just livening it back up, but the game itself felt a little bit kind of dead on its feet.
I get there. It felt almost as daft as it seemed. It almost felt like a pre-season game, because we knew all we had to do was take a draw. That was it. You seen it. We get that corner in the 92nd minute. That ball was never going into the box. So the way you seen it, it was getting knocked back. I'm surprised it didn't go all the way back to Joe Hart.
I was fuming. I was fuming.
See, when Greg Taylor was trying to take it to the corner, then he realised what team he played for. I was like, mate, you don't play for Kilmarnock anymore. We don't do that anymore. No, I was raging that we were wasting time. I was like, it's that one of mentality though. It's Celtic. A draw is as good as a loss in a lot of games.
I'm not going to say it in like a overly critical or bitter way. Like, I wasn't like, I'm not like, Ange, you fucking idiot, why are you doing that? But I was like, I want to win the game.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one feeling that. Because I thought I would come onto this podcast and I'd get slaughtered.
No, I can understand why people be like, oh, shut up, you have won the league. But I just, in the moment, sort of thing, I'm like, oh, come on, just put it in the box and go for a goal.
Because we're only 4 points ahead now, and that annoys me a wee bit, because I was quite happy with the 6 points.
I was hoping that we were going to reach 9 points, to be quite honest. I was hoping that we could have maybe done that, but here we are, I suppose.
Just as long as we win on Saturday,
but
I'd be quite happy.
But you made a point there, Cam. It felt like a sort of pre-season game. We kind of went in, we've seen what it was like at Celtic Park on Saturday, and we know what it's going to be like this Saturday. This game's kind of sandwiched in between the kind of celebrations, so it's kind of like so that last step, just like, let's get it over the line and then we'll focus on the big celebration on Saturday. So it did feel, but the atmosphere and such looked incredible last night.
It did.
I was listening to Hamish and Asim on 67 Hail Hail last night, and Hamish was there and he was saying that like the atmosphere is one of the best atmospheres away from home that he's experienced in a long time, and you could feel that through the television. It was really, I mean, Tom English doesn't agree, but I mean,
I tried to turn us down as well on Sky. He still couldn't. But you could hear them try to turn the sound down, but you know what, we're just too loud.
It looked brilliant, and that's the thing. Even with a kind of flatter game, Ryan, they still, the fans were there. They made themselves heard, and they tried to push the team on to get another winner or get a winner in the game.
Fans are the heartbeat. They keep the side going, and I think the team will be the first to tell you that they've really helped them this season keep on going. I mean, we don't stop, we never stop. That could be said for the fans as well. The fans have never stopped, especially away from home. It's great to see that there's such a undying support for the team. And I think that's really contributed to this season's successes.
Wow. Giacomakis, I made a point about him last night. I think he could end up being one of the great modern Celtic strikers. I really do, and I don't mean to compare him with others. My tweet was, and got a good response, I'd say, but my tweet was, I'm starting to feel Dembele levels of love with him, and if you've known me long enough, Dembele is one of my favourites, if not my favourite modern Celtic player. I'm not saying that he's as good as Dembele, because I still think Dembele's a better footballer, but in terms of scoring goals and in terms of the impact that he's going to have in this football club, Callum, I think that Giacomakis could be massive for this club by the time he's done here.
Definitely. I mean, obviously had wee bits of problems that we sort of niggling pains and such when the first came to us, so we never really got to see the full him, but ever since he's come back into the team, he's been fit. Since that game against Hearts, obviously the 2-1 game even, he's just been phenomenal ever since, and he's just kept kicking on. He's come in, he's filled that gap for Kyogo, we've seen how we were missing him pre sort of Christmas, when he was injured, like you noticed that gap. He's come in, he's improved his game massively, I feel. And as you say, Danke has got it in him to go on to be a future Celtic great.
I like that.
Do you know, he can't pass, he can't really dribble with the
let's
ball.
not be harsh
but
here.
no, he can't. He is lacking in some areas, but
Hey,
my
I would
God,
say,
he can shoot and head the
I
ball,
would agree
and that's
with-
all he needs.
I would agree with dribbling, right? I'd agree with the dribbling part.
Did you see him try to dribble last night?
I'd agree that the dribbling could
was a bit
probably be
painful.
could be a little bit better, right? But I think the passing's harsh. There's a couple.
Passing has improved.
Yeah, and I think he made a couple of really good
But-
passes last night. There was one that I think he played it through to Hatate, and Hatate missed, or it was maybe O'Reilly, and O'Reilly missed, and it was a really good pass. But there was a couple that was just all kind of off balance. And it just
that
never
one
came off
pass,
his...
the one that just went.
I'm like, I don't know, I feel like that's overly harsh.
Maybe I'm being a wee bit harsh. And do you know what? The room for improvement then.
Yes,
If he can improve
yes.
on those parts of his game, then he'll be alright. But what I would say about Yakimakis, he scored 14 out of his 15 goals in past the winter break.
Yep.
If he was a January signing, he'd be up there with some of the best January signings we've ever got. It just so
Of all
happens we
time,
signed
aye.
him on deadline
But it
day.
feels like he's a January signing,
all his
doesn't it?
impact, bar the penalty miss, and obviously that goal against St Johnstone.
So I can keep going. I was just looking at the
Aye.
sign on the camera there.
Apart from that goal against St Johnstone, the penalty miss, that's the only bit of impact that he's had. But after the winter break, he's been phenomenal. What a job he's done.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And another player that I feel like, and this is the thing, I don't want to speak negatively too much because we should be just celebrating right now the fact that we've won a league title. We were told we couldn't win, so we should just be focusing on that. But just very quickly on last night, there was another guy who was taking a lot of stick online. Callum, your man, James Forrest. What'd you make last night?
See, I did actually quite like your tweet. I showed it to Ian here. I fair bit chuck with it as
Is that the
well.
Ric
The old
Flair
Yeller
tweet?
tweet.
Was it the Ric Flair or the old Yeller one?
The old Yeller one.
Aye.
He enjoyed a fair wee laugh at that. But nah, I mean, I said I've gave him stick for ages, but everybody's just pack it in, mate.
It feels like it's
I
a
thought he
sort of...
started the game alright too. I thought he was alright, but then it went into a James Forrest performance, a recent James Forrest
Aye.
performance. I don't want to slag him too much because we've just won a league.
Yeah, and he's one thing
but-
that we've got to say for James Forrest is he's now won the league title 10 times as well.
Yep.
That's an incredible statistic.
And you don't get that by being a bad player.
No, you don't. Of course not.
But I think his time's running out. But
Yeah.
you can see that for a couple of Celtic players. I mean, you see some of them already are making movements about leaving.
That's
so
what we might do another episode online again through Zoom or whatever, like with the tier list like we done the last time.
it'll be a much more enjoyable tier list.
Yeah, because last time it was like, I get a deal. Fuck off.
Biggest
Get a
change will be
deal.
Ralston,
I know,
probably.
Ralston will be up there. I think there'll be a couple up there to be fair. Taylor, I think we were like, I fucking get a deal as well. And I think there was a good couple of players like that. But listen,
Change days.
to wrap up the conversation in regards to, we are the fucking champions.
Great, innit?
Who thought we would have been ending the podcast this season?
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have
Look at
thought?
us. Not me.
It's crazy. Like what else in life is crazier than Celtic winning the league this year? Rangers winning the league last year. Maybe, I don't know.
I was going to say something there, but I'm not going to jinx it.
No way, jinx it. No,
I think we
don't
both know
bother.
what we're talking
Don't
about.
bother, Ryan. Don't bother. But yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm over the moon. If you could sum it up, I'll give you both a sentence to sum up the league winning feeling and the sort of campaign in general. I'd go McGinley.
Just euphoric, really. Just buzzing.
Just euphoric.
I think he's hit the nail on the head there. Actually, I can't think.
Speechless. There you go.
Unexpected, but I enjoyed it.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Nice. Good. We seem so energetic. But that
Tell
does.
I've only been up half an hour.
Yeah. But I mean, how long's it been? About an hour since I think I got you. Since you actually got into the car or whatever.
That was a long detour.
Since I took the Ring Road and everything. It's been a disaster of a day. I thought it would have been done by now, an hour away up the road and everything. But here we are. So we are the champions. We'll come back on to talking about topics to do with that as soon as we get onto the Twitter questions. A lot of questions in regards to where we sit as champions of this country. None of you were going to go to Parkhead last night, decided not to go.
I was too tired. Just wanted to watch The Mandalorian. It's got me gripped.
Got you gripped. Good.
That's
That's
it.
how
I've
you
got no
should
Marvel
feel.
shows to watch, so I need to get on the Star Wars
What's that
train.
mad one they done recently? Moon Knight or something?
Loved it. Best
Good.
one yet.
Best one yet.
Yep.
Okay. Right. Okay. Half time. Pause. game thing. Kieran's back in, and I do apologise to Kieran because he sent me this fucking ages ago and I just ignored them. I feel bad. I never seen the message. Honestly, it just escaped my line of sight. I sat there and I just patched him for about a week, and I feel rotten. But he was there and he's always there, and I appreciate him. And he's gave us 2 players for this week's Who's That Tick? Play the song. Who's That Tick? Right, you know how it works by now. If you don't, then you'll get it as we go
Can
on.
I just make a wee, not an announcement, can I just say something? Can I get the other player? Because I've seen one of the names on that already.
Oh, yeah. What are you looking for? What are you looking at my computer for?
It's just that picture of AJ Styles keeps on happening.
So you just keep looking at AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Right, well, I don't know what one you've seen.
I'll
Right, so he's seen one of the players. I don't believe it, he's not seen the 2 of them.
It's only fair.
But aye, let's get this going. Right, he's seen that. Okay, so Callum, you're going to have to get the first player today
Sorry, mate.
because
No,
McGinley's a
sounds
cheater.
Do you know what? I think I've more than redeemed myself there by saying that.
He could have very easily just said, I'll take the first one.
Aye, true.
But I would have had to have guessed then.
Aye, well, anyway.
Aye.
Right, so the first player today. Right, okay, so this is what Kieran said. I always like to read out his message that he gives with us. He says, thought it'd be easier on the lads this week, considering a good number of us are probably still fragile from Sunday. This was last week, so...
that must be something.
So if we're still fragile since then Christ help us.
Fragile in general at that point.
If we speak, we're in big trouble. Also, this is the clue that he's given for today. This is the link between the players. Also, a nice wee simple link for this one. After UEFA's news on Russian clubs this week, they have both scored in the UEFA Champions League for Celtic. So both of these players have scored in the Champions League for Celtic. So, Callum, player 1 is for you. And he joined Celtic from Chelsea and left Celtic for... Chris, give me a moment here. Krylia Sovetov. So he joined from Chelsea in 2006 and left for Krylia Sovetov in 2008. That's a weird noise you were making there.
I think.
I'll give you another clue. He scored his Champions League goal against Shakhtar Donetsk. I would struggle with this one. I would.
Can I give him a hint as well?
On you go.
He also won a foul for one of the best free kicks ever. That maybe wasn't a foul.
It's the leaving part I'm trying to think as well.
That is an obscure club to leave for, to say the least. Czechoslovakian.
Thank you.
My head's trying to blank. I'm actually woeful at these because I hate getting put in a spot.
Are you giving up?
Go for it.
Right.
I'm going to hate myself, aren't I?
Yuri Yarisic.
Yuri Yarisic. That's the player.
Pardon me.
That's the
Thank you,
first
boy.
one. That's the first one.
Palest guy ever.
It was,
Apart from me,
it
probably.
was pretty pale. It was pretty pale. So there's player 1 for this week. Player 2 then, Ryan McGinley, if you haven't cheated and seen it.
No.
He joined Celtic from Roda JC and he left Celtic for Club Bruges.
Me, man. Where are Roda from? Are they from Holland?
Yes. He joined in the year 2000 and left in the year 2005, making 116 appearances for the club.
Jos Valham?
Yes, well done, Ryan. Well done. Can you remember where his Champions League goal came against or came for?
I'm gonna get not Barcelona, no, Juventus.
Yes,
Is it?
I think so. He scored in the 4-3 win against Juventus.
What a
at
game.
Celtic.
My dad
Park.
always shows me that game.
So there you go. Well done, Ryan. Yusuf Alden.
Jos Valham.
Yes, thank you. It was the guy.
I was struggling
you
to
were
pronounce it
thinking
in my
of.
head. I was
Yes,
like,
I've always said Valgarin as
Valgarin.
well, personally. So you've probably corrected me. But there you go. That's who's that tick for this week.
Thanks, Kieran.
Thank you once again, Kieran, for adding on a little nice feature to the show. But aye, it's weird. one thing we haven't touched on is we're back in a midweek episode. Again, that is being recorded at daytime. Obviously, didn't help McGinley this morning.
It definitely did not. I'm used to these late night ones.
Yes, it's. How do you prefer, Cam? Late night or?
I don't really mind them.
You had a massage today, did you know?
I did. One of the boys, we have pals with Jack. Jack won't even see this, but it's a nice wee shout out to him. He's doing obviously sports therapy and he needed folk to do him. I thought like free shit, so I've taken a wee massage and I said about stirring up my legs with flubber.
Oh, nuggies.
They send dirt direct to them. You make their number.
Oh, well, aye. Well, there you go. Might sort them out. Right, so, yeah, G4 Claims, thank you very much for the space, as always. Thank you, shout out. If you've had any road accidents that aren't your fault, then you know how to get in touch with G4 Claims. That's your team. And their link will be in the description below.
Some studio as well.
And some studio, of course. We're back up the stairs today, as you can see. Talking about up the stairs, let's hope it gives us good luck, because we have only one more game left this season, and it's on Saturday as we take on Hearts in the early kick-off. No, sorry, no Hearts. Motherwell. What am I talking? Sorry. Mate, I've told you, my head is up my arse today. It really is. So, I set off to get Callum today, right? And I drove round the corner. If people know Craig End, there's this road down by Sunnyside Primary School. And I was driving down it. And I just suddenly started, like, swaying. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? I was like, Callum. So I went and got Callum. And then I usually, for Callum's at Rob Royston, I usually go in the motorway from Rob Royston, but I didn't. I drove all the way back to fucking Garfanlock. And I was like, what am I doing? And I got on the motorway, blah, blah. We'd done everything we had to do, waiting on you. We got you. And then I took the wrong way coming here. I knew I'm fucking forgetting about it. Honestly, I think I'm done. I think this might be. Maybe this season's been too much for me.
That's it.
Maybe it's just
We've
the
won,
end.
but at what cost?
At what cost? Maybe this is the end of Ryan 118. I've went full time and it's killed me.
That's it. You need Tesco. Maybe Tesco was the sort of stabiliser.
It was the
in your
glue.
life.
It was the glue.
It was
that kept me
keeping you there,
together.
and now it's just going all over the
Now
place.
it's gone. No, if Tesco was what kept me together, then God fucking help me.
You need Morrison's on the go.
Oh,
you
dear.
need to be a Morrison.
Cam was a Morrison. Oh, both of you were a
Yeah, we
Morrison.
were working at the same time.
It's
It's mental, that, isn't it?
It's quite. I remember I was like, hey, this boy Ryan McGinley in college. And I'm like, they work in Morrison's. I was like, I don't know. And I asked you, do you work in Morrison's? And bang, turns out you're pals with Cal, man. So technically, you've known Cam longer than you've known me.
Have you?
Yeah, mad. Right, okay, let's talk about Hearts in at the weekend very quickly. I'm trying to see how long we're into the show.
You've just said Hearts again.
Somebody want to take this part of the show and just ask some questions. McGinley,
So-
do you want to go?
Celtic are playing Motherwell
Thank you.
at the end of the season, at the last game of the season. On you go.
Thank you. How are we feeling going into it? Are we hoping it is the return? It's been a few years now since we've had one of those last game of the seasons where we've just battered a team. In fact, the last time I can remember us doing it was against Motherwell, and it was
7-0.
Ronnie Dyer's last game. But I remember for a few years, we played, I think it was Inverness on Trophy Day, and we battered them about 5-0. I think that was
5-0,
2013.
I remember we get beat off Aberdeen.
That's right. Well, we laid down to Aberdeen, of course. We laid
Yeah.
down so they could finish second.
I remember those days.
But you
Remember
know,
Aberdeen was supposed to finish second this season? What happened there, Hugh? What happened there? Maybe it's time for a home.
fucking hell.
That's correct. No, because his comments about Ange at the start of the season,
Absolutely
not good enough. Aye, get around him, spectacle dick.
Same with everybody in the media, isn't it? Like, I love watching, the one that I love watching back the most is that fat dick Alan Brazil. I like that. Is it Postecoglou? Where did he get these guys from? He's going to be a great manager, isn't he?
Is that guy self-combusted yet, honestly?
No, yes. I don't know how. I don't know. He looks.
He's a ticking time bomb.
He looks as though he's just going to like a million bits, you know. But yeah, we've got Motherwell, of course, at the weekend. We played them on Saturday, and Ryan, it would be nice for Celtic to make up for the draw this week and kind of end the season on a note that resembles what we've been able to do all season.
Full strength, hopefully. Get Jota and Maeda back in, because I think the players that we brought in and replaced them, maybe not so much Abada, but Forrest, they're not as good as Maeda and Jota are in this team.
Nah.
I want them back in the team. I want Kyogo up front. I just want us to go full strength, full pelt. We've got no other games until, official big games until the end of July, so we can go all out, hopefully get a couple of goals and just enjoy the party, I guess.
Welcome to the party tonight.
I'm not singing any of their songs.
I'm
No
looking.
jinxing
I'll tell you
anything.
one thing, Callum, as a fellow music enjoyer, I'm looking forward to the songbook on Saturday. The DJ's been having a good run recently, hasn't he?
It stretches right back to the 3-0 game.
Aye.
Ever since then, it's just been phenomenal.
Aye.
I've got to say, see One More Time by Daft Punk.
Yes.
See that 2-3 minutes of them walking around the pitch. I could relive that every day for the rest of my life. I loved it so much.
So what we're thinking on Saturday for the for full time tunes, what we're wanting, like if you were to pick like 4 songs to come on, and that, you know how you get that period of time between the final whistle and them going to get their medals.
Yeah.
What 4 songs would you pick for the weekend? Surely Roll With It's got to be one of them.
I feel
Roll
Yeah,
with
that
it.
will be.
for what
yeah.
it holds. for
Roll
the
With
previous
It
result.
one more time. Then what else are you taking?
Part of me's thinking Fireball.
Fireball.
It's just
Aye.
such an upbeat tune.
Aye.
Everybody just loves it.
That's true. That's true.
Um,
Roll With It one more time. Fireball and one more song.
What was that song that was getting used in that Ange montage?
I wouldn't mind Paramore's Harry J bootleg of what's the song called again? I've got Still
Still
Into
Into
You.
You.
Wouldn't mind
I
that.
prefer the original to that, to be honest.
I do prefer the original, but like the Harry J bootleg is what you put on when you want to create something, you know.
Shinsuke Nakamura's theme from
Oh,
WWE.
Christ, no, I'm passing that.
Man, just while Gucci comes out, because it's Gucci season now. He'd better start. Now, I know we talked about full strength, but I want Gucci to start on Saturday.
What was the song in the Ange Postecoglou montage?
It was like one of those recent sort of dance songs, like Unbeatable or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, God knows.
It was good though.
I don't know. I don't keep up with the modern music. You know.
Your modern music's 70s.
Yes, that's. I'm just breaking into 1976 now. That's
Have you heard that Marvin Gaye? Aye, he's a cracker, isn't he?
There's this new one coming out. Abba the Crier. I know. I've never heard the song "Get Up, Get Up, Get Up, Get Up, Let's Make Love Tonight." Get up, get up, get up, get up. Mad, I shot me twice.
Don't be disrespectful. Now, I'm a Notice Redding man, but I'm a fan of Marvin Gaye as well.
Aye, a wee bit of Marvin Gaye. Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on.
That song's a travesty. Megan Trainor.
But
Less said the better.
listen, right, one more song. We've picked 3. We've picked 3 stone cold, solid options, but there needs to be one more. It would be good if they just started playing something like, I don't know, Say Hello to the Provo's Elitanoy. That'd be a brilliant laugh at.
See, I would say Japanese Boy, but that song is so culturally insensitive now.
I love it, but
I do, me too.
I
It's
love
in
it.
my top songs on Spotify.
Aye, I
like
love
it's
it.
always on repeat.
I love it.
Um,
Stick that
What's-
on.
aye, because we stuck that on, remember, after the League Cup final.
That's right. That's right.
We were singing
Aye.
on verses and everything.
Aye, it was just tremendous.
Absolutely brilliant. But, I don't know what other songs I could be.
So many. There's so many. Let us know.
That's far too many.
Let us know in the
Aye,
comments.
if you're watching and you're in the comments,
Pick
what
your
song?
last song. What joins the trio that we have been given? We've given there.
I was going to say Run Rig there, but Ryan Christie's not there anymore, so there's no point, is there?
Christ, David Buick will be on the park if you put that
his bat sense or something, or his spidey sense. Here's Run Rig, comes down the road.
Aye, so we were talking about Hearts. Callum, you know, it would be nice to get
Motherwell.
Why do I keep saying Hearts? What is wrong with
They
me?
played each other last night as well.
Why do I honestly keep saying Hearts? I keep fucking doing it.
Yeah, you spent too long with Kendo, that's it.
Maybe that's the case. Callum, goals galore would be nice.
Definitely. I mean, another 7-0 on title day would be lovely. I mean, you just trust Ange. It's a good, nice professional performance. If you're up 3-4 at half time, even better. You can just go out and enjoy the second half.
Apologies, the battery actually cut out there. The angle might have changed, and it's professionalism. It oozes from this podcast as always. I didn't realise the battery was so low in charge, but yeah, as we were saying, nothing to play for. Dundee United have clinched their spot as well, so it all comes together rather nicely for Celtic. Motherwell have been, and I know they've had a fantastic season, but when you look at their overall form, they have had a mince run since the turn of this year. 2 wins, I believe, in 2022, 2 maybe 3. That's, you want to put goals past a side playing that poorly.
Absolutely.
But aye, I mean, score predictions, team predictions and everything, I guess we're going to see a very similar side in regards to the back line and then maybe the midfield, but the changes, as we've kind of mentioned, will be the front three.
Yeah, maybe Juranovic as well, because he might be coming back for that game. Although I don't know if we're going to risk him.
I just don't think there's a point, really. I mean, I love him, trust me, I adore him.
Maybe come on as a sub.
Yeah, potentially. And we've obviously got to talk about Near Beaton. This could be it for him. This could be his last ever time playing at Celtic Park.
He's posted more hints on his Instagram today.
Has he?
Because it was he was getting his hair cut or something. He was like for the last game or something like that.
Oh, so Callum, what are you thinking? We'll touch on Near Beaton very quickly. You sad to see him go?
I am considering that obviously like what a servant he has been for the club. Obviously, he has had these moments where he's let us down on many an occasion, but at the same time, he's just. I feel like this season, excluding sort of Michelin and such, he's come in and been that sort of. He's come in and played that holding role very well from when we've needed it. Like the 2-1 at Ibrox, he comes on, he just controls the game, then he just calms it down, plays it to our pace, brings it to our level. So it will be a shame to see him go, but I'd like to think Anne just got sort of somebody lined up that will come in and replace that role. Yeah,
that's obviously, we'll talk about that a lot over the next few weeks in regards to the by the way, now I don't know if he's listening to the show today, but I'm loving the new sticker design from AJ Celtic, by the way. Shout out, that is very, very nice, AJ. Very, very, I love how I say AJ as if it's like the one guy, but I know, but you know what I mean. Very nice design there, very, very nice design. I'll be making sure to pick up
one of the two got up at like 4:30 or something to watch the game last night.
In Australia, that's right.
Nice.
Just as we were talking about Beaton there,
yep.
It was obvious he was going to leave. Who are we going to play in the qualifiers? We're not playing the qualifiers this season, so he can't play in those games. His job is done.
It's fulfilled.
Yep. The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Yes.
He's got to go.
Yep. He's got to go. He's got to walk.
I don't even mean it like that too. He's been a good servant for the club. I mean, how many titles is that? 8-9 titles.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Brilliant record.
For a guy who's not really been a starter for most of his Celtic career, he's always been that sort of guy that we bring on.
Yeah, and love him or hate him.
But he's played quite a lot of games this season.
He's been a phenomenal servant to Celtic. Love him or hate him, and I know that he's probably had more negative moments than positive moments for a lot of people. But
I think the negative moments are there because they're so obvious, because the mistakes are so blatant that. Maybe when he has a good game or 5 or 6 good games, it goes under the radar. I remember in a couple of games this season, he really steadied the ship. I remember against Motherwell in particular, we played a 2-0 game at Fir Park. Jota scored in the first half and then Turnbull the second, but Near Beaton really calmed the game down when he came on. He had a really good game.
Well, this season he has played it 37 times.
It's incredible.
Which is a brilliant. Obviously, that's in a mixture of starts and substitutions.
I think I read somewhere that it was like something like 18 or 19 starts, though, so he has contributed quite a bit.
He has, and I think, in a season like this where every point has been so important, every player's sort of involvement has, it can't go underestimated. And very quickly, just to throw in as well, 270 appearances for the club in his time here. That is, and he'll probably make that 271 at the weekend. That is a tremendous record.
Absolutely.
And he deserves the respect and credit.
I think he'll get a good reception on Saturday.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
I mean, to change the sort of narrative, because everybody kind of wanted them gone after the Michelin sort of debacle, to sort of turn it around and be part of a team that's won the league, it's absolutely brilliant for him. You can be happy for him. And you probably don't see a lot of the stuff he does off the field as well, because he's so popular with the dressing room, he's pals with everybody. He must have done a lot of settling in with Abada. Abada's a 20-year-old coming to a new country, 19 at the time. He must have taken him under his wing and got him settled, so credit to him for that.
Yeah, he'll be missed. Near Beaton, Celtic something.
Good Celtic servant. We're not going to talk about the greats.
Yes.
He could have been if he kept on going.
Favoured personnel.
He's become a cult hero because there'll be a following it there.
You could say maybe a sort of cult hero-ish kind of player. Could be up there.
I mean, if people think
legend aspect, if people think that Evander Snow is a cult hero, then surely Near Beaton's one.
What sense? He's a bit mince, isn't he?
Heart attack survivors,
I thought you mean the heart attack on the pitch.
Well, the heart attack survivor, isn't he? I think he had 2 or 3 of Evander Snow.
He did. He kind of got down and I get knocked down, but he gets up again. That's terrible, man.
That's terrible.
This is the podcast that ends me. I swear to God.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Your mother pulled us up today. Actually, she had a word with us. She had a word with us. She came over to the car window.
What's your profanity?
She said to us, she's like, listen. They're fucking swearing. No, she said swearing. And I said,
probably Daisy that told you.
I held my hands up there and I just said, Mrs. McGinley, listen, nothing's going to fucking change. I can't. I honestly say them, you're lucky I've not sworn yet, because I can't go through a sentence without swearing. I really can't. That happens, mate. My dad hates
Tourette's,
it.
that's a lot of people, isn't it?
Right, well, calm down now, right? So one more topic I wanted to touch on very, very, very quickly before we go on to the last segment of today's show. It's annoying me because I've just noticed that the camera's so lopsided right now. It's like facing me and Callum's
Get another
like
angle of us.
cut out of it. It's good. Well, this will be hopefully the last ever episode where it's just the one angle. I'm hoping that from next week onwards we'll be on two sides of the table, which will be nice, because I'm now full time. But as I was going to say, Scott Brown has announced his retirement from football.
Did you not do that last season?
Over the past
I'm kidding
week. Over the past week.
He helped us this season.
He's announced his retirement from football. He's hung up his playing boots. He's called it a day. He's looking to get into management now. But of course, there was a lot of calls for Scott Brown to be involved with the trophy celebrations on Saturday to try and give him that sort of send-off that he never really got as a Celtic player. People suggesting that maybe Scott Brown presents the trophy to his new, the person filling his shoes, his protege, Callum McGregor. What was your thoughts on all that? It seems to have created quite a divide on social media.
It's good. I think it's quite good that he's politely declined, and I get that because it's Callum McGregor's moment. He doesn't want to overshadow that, and also due to the fact he'll probably be down in Fleetwood at that time as well. Because it looks like he's getting that job.
Down the markets.
And good luck to him.
Have you been to Fleetwood?
No, no.
Fucking dump.
Is it a
It's a
When the
fucking.
fuck did you go to Fleetwood?
Used to go to Fleetwood all the time, mate.
Did you?
It's just on the road to Blackpool.
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
Aye. Been no,
You are
on
like a wee English. You are a wee
Fleetwood,
English way.
Fleetwood markets. I've been more times than I've had hot dinners. I'm telling you, honestly, I know Fleetwood.
not?
I know Fleetwood quite well.
I've been to Scarborough.
No, I'll be Scarborough. So you go to Blackpool, you go in the tram, and the last stop's Fleetwood. Fleetwood's right at the
In
end.
fact, I have been to Fleetwood because
Aye.
I've been to Blackpool and then been through there.
You go to
Aye.
you get Blackpool, and then you get Cleveley's in the middle,
Yep.
and then you get Fleetwood
I
up
was
at the
there like
end.
last year or something.
You get that's the three kind of towns, and Fleetwood is obviously where Brown's ending up.
To be honest, Blackpool's a bit of a dump.
Listen, don't. Listen, it's like a second home to me, Blackpool, right? Let's just
That says a lot.
just calm down now, right? Have some.
But man, have you been in Coral Island?
Have I
over the
been in Coral Island, brother?
No,
I
no,
used
no,
to
no.
live in Coral Island.
past? You probably know the wee tune that was on. No, but the thing is, have you been recently, like the past 2-3 years?
No, I've not actually been doing since like 2016.
I felt for my safety in there.
Aye. Have they still got the pirate ride?
Yes.
Aye, I used to love that.
But you know the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack should just set up in there, man. There's dodgy characters in there.
We used to go when my granny was living, God bless her. We used to go, and my granny would go to the bingo up the stair, and me and my ma would actually go around the amusements, and my granny would just sit up there, and we'd go down and we'd do everything else, and I loved it, man. I loved Coral Island. Brilliant.
Got you in your tickets.
Shout out to all the Blackpool punters. You know what I mean? Surely a few have been down there that watch us.
Pleasure Beach.
But yeah, Callum, I take you on the same sort of side as Ryan with the Scott Brown stuff. I didn't necessarily care if Scott Brown was to present the trophy or such, but I think it's nice that he's letting this team enjoy their sort of moment.
Definitely. I mean, as I say, that's Cal McGregor's title. He has stepped into that role. He's filled it massively. He's done very, very well. He deserves to sort of celebrate it as his own. I think there should be any form of overshadowing it, if you will.
Lovely. And that kind of does it for the podcast of
Yep.
Champions. Now just to go into your questions, the Twitter questions, there's a lot of them in there today.
Actually, there's a fair amount just came through.
Fair amount. I mean, we could have probably dedicated a podcast to itself. I'm trying to look at how long we've went. 49 minutes. That's not bad. So we've got a whole kind of 10 minutes and no quiz today. Sad.
Let's try and get through every question.
Every question.
Yeah, why not?
Every
I'll majority
question.
at least.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, I'll go rapid fire then. We've got to be quick with the answers then.
Okay, that's right.
Right, then none of this, you sitting there going,
I'll have you know, I've never eaten this podcast. Although there's been plenty of times where I wanted to bring crisps in.
there was the one time we had someone eating in the podcast, I remember.
Who?
Can't remember what guest
David
it was
Turnbull?
now. It wasn't David Turnbull, it wasn't
No.
David. No, it was someone else.
Billy?
Maybe?
Billy,
I think
it
it was
was
Billy.
Billy.
Billy with his chips. Anyway, so we'll start with Adam, the lad hero. He said, if you sit down and have a pint with Postecoglou, what would you ask him?
Can you be my friend?
I think I'd ask him where he gets his drip. That'd be my question.
He'd probably point you to the Celtic superstar.
There's a link there, pal. What would you ask him, Cal?
Where do you want the statue, big man?
Oh, smart. Very smart,
I
Cal.
tweeted that about Maeda too. and then he had a complete stinker after it. Remember he got the assist for Jota in the Celtic Rangers game?
You jinx everything.
I do.
You jinx everything.
Even though
You
it
better
doesn't
not be
exist.
fucking tweeting on Wednesday. I swear to God, boy. Just log out your Twitter on Wednesday. Right?
No, I refuse.
Log out your Twitter on Wednesday. I'll be logging out mine, trust me. I'm not going back on it if they fucking win on Wednesday, I tell you that. I'll never be on Twitter again.
Does it really matter?
Well,
We won the big cup anyway.
oh, fighting talk. Aaron Smith, he's in there. I'd like to shout out to him as well. Where does Ange Postecoglou rank in terms of your all-time favourite Celtic managers?
Number one.
Number one?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, you've got to kind of look at this as managers we've seen, because obviously Jock Stein's like number one, but you're not going to say Ange Postecoglou's better than Jock Stein, are you?
No.
It's just a smile you were making there. I was like, right, come on now.
I was just thinking in my head with your music taste, you probably could have watched Jock Stein.
Fuck off. But like, if we're talking our lifetime, right, you ranks as number one for you.
Yeah, but that's probably because of the way it ended with Brendan Rodgers. It was unprecedented with Brendan
No,
Rodgers.
I
but at the
don't
same
got a
time,
problem with it. I'm just asking.
If you think of the ones that I've watched, the first one I really remember was Gordon Strachan, because I remember Martin O'Neill to an extent, but Gordon Strachan, Mowbray, Lennon,
Mowbray's
Daiwa-
mine.
Mowbray, taking the chin. No, it's got to be Ange for me.
Calm.
As McGinnis touched on, the way Rodgers left, I think it's what severs it. I
Aye.
think it'd have to go Ange.
Ange for number one.
For what we've seen in our lifetime.
I just think there's a great connection.
It's mad because even Lenny, if it wasn't for last season, Lenny would be up there for up the top, because I loved him, and then he betrayed me. And Rodgers, you know me, you know how I'm like with Brendan. I adore Brendan with all my heart. Even O'Neill, you know, I love Martin O'Neill, I love Stratton. God, I love Dyer as well. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know where he ranks for me. I think he's maybe getting up there at number one. I think he maybe is, because
I think
there's
a wee bit of recency bias as well.
yeah,
with
of
Ange,
course,
'cause
of course. But it's just so sweet and everything. That's just because we've backed him when everybody wanted and thought he'd fail. That makes the difference, doesn't it? So he's definitely up there, I think. Do you think Shugs, Dougie, he's in there, shout out to Dougie. Do you think we can continue our undefeated league run into next season and go undefeated the whole season?
No.
No.
Nah, I don't think so. I think now we're at a point with football in Scotland where we are seeing competitiveness return to the top two. But as for as much as I think the standard is really poor throughout the rest of the league, with the amount of football we have to play, slip-ups are just inevitable. So I think it's those days of invincible seasons, I think, are gone. Don't see any anytime
It's great
soon.
that we had them, but
Yeah.
it's good that there's competition in the league now as well, because that brings the sort of energy as well, I would say.
Nice. So we all can agree on that then.
Aye.
Right, okay, quick fires from Kieran, the man himself. He's got them in. Kieran
Who's that
Smythe.
tick?
He's in here, and he's said, quick fire question for all the troops. Number one, will McGinley patch the cat house for the Merchant City on Saturday?
What time does the cat house open at? I mean, come on. Think about the difference. I mean, I'm probably going to be doing both, let's be honest.
Well,
Or I might actually, I don't want to say I'm going to patch the Merchant City Saturday, but I mean, I will be going to the cat house on Saturday, so...
is it free,
But the thing is, though,
free entry with a ticket?
free entry with my wristband as well, my cat house wristband.
Oh, you've no...
I've not got it on, obviously, but one
There's a
here,
wristband?
Come on, you pay £1.50, right?
What is it, fucking the TUI Holiday Club? Fuck's sake. Wrong about with your fucking Thompson's Holiday Club.
All-inclusive here, by the way. There's some talk going on about this all-inclusive, man. People aren't happy. They've
Oh,
changed it.
I know, don't have to tell me.
If you buy a wristband in Cat House, you get free entry. I mean, this is £1.50. This has lasted me. This has probably saved me about 50-60 quid in entry fees. So,
Look at you, eh?
I mean,
Big spender.
the art of the deal, Trump.
Okay, second quick fire question. Callum Craig is a horny man. Discuss.
It's for a case for you to
Is there much
discuss.
to discuss?
No, I wouldn't say so. It's a simple answer, yes.
You just say, what is it? Sometimes I use the word horny.
Am I a shag up? Yes, I am.
So Callum Craig, yes, is a horny man. On a scale of 1 to shite, how shite is Ryman when H replies?
5.
5? That's generous, I'm thinking.
No,
Shite.
to be fair, past couple of weeks yours have been quite bad, but they're getting there.
I'm just... No, I do
Yeah, we
apologise.
lost Poppy.
I apologise to Kieran, right? I do. I just.
Him going out his way to do. Who's
I know.
that dick to you?
I do. I apologise to everybody. Like you'll know fine well if you message me. I am terrible for replying. I'm just in this state of mind, and I have been for the last. I'd say it's coming up a year now. I used to be really good for replying to folk. Like there was a time where I just wouldn't leave anybody unreplied to, and I would just quick, rapid reply all the time. But I don't know what it is over the past year, and it's nothing. Don't hit out with a so famous shite and all that. Pish. I just don't go on my phone that much nowadays. I just don't know. I'm finding it quite zen not being on the phone. You know what I mean? Callum was looking at me as if I'm lying. Callum was looking at me as if
I'm make the fame jokes, so I'm trying to keep my shit.
Okay. And finally, last quick fire question: has anybody located Kieran Auld since the title has been won? No. Funnily enough, no.
Can we do one there? I liked it. It was one we spoke about in the riot. Cal, like the favourite goal in the last 5 to 10 years.
I'm going to keep going.
That was Kieran's.
No.
Come here. We've got to put a disclaimer here. Kieran has specifically called them quick fire questions. That was the last of that. I knew.
Just because of the way he worded it. Said
Sorry, my bad. That's my bad. Right, Paddy, where does this season rank for you in terms of your favourites? And also, do you think it will actually be better next year based on what the Aussies have said?
Yes.
Yes and yes.
I think we'll win the league by more next year.
First and yes, best season you've ever had to experience as a Celtic fan?
I've enjoyed this. Well, I enjoyed the Invincible treble, but I feel like I was more part of this one. I think obviously due to the fact that we were in lockdown obviously before, this is the first season back.
Yeah.
The energy was back, and the fact that we were the hunters rather than being hunted, which was weird. It's not been like that in a wee while. No, it's been very, very enjoyable, I'd say.
Callum, favourite for you, or is there the one that beats it?
See, I don't know. I mean, this is definitely up there, especially see for the fact that going behind at a point in the season, how poor we looked at the start, to turn that around massively like this. 31 games unbeaten, has to be right up there.
It is up there, definitely is up there. Elliot, shout out to him as well. He said, is Ange now the greatest Celtic manager of all time? Now that he's won 55 titles in under a year in the job. Also, best McDonald's sauce. Barbecue. The barbecue is nice.
We're talking the wee pots or the big pots?
Wee pots.
Wee pots, barbecue, big pots, chilli.
Wee pots are better for me. The barbecue wee pots are just...
They fit just perfectly with a Select or a chicken nugget, don't they?
But yes, 55 titles, of course, for Ange. Very keen observation. You look like you're hesitating for saying something.
I've heard it before.
Well. Now that the league's officially won, should the likes of Ideguchi, Scales and Julian get game time on Saturday? Yes, no and no. So Ideguchi, yes, Scales and Julian, no.
Scales needs a loan deal and Julian I think will leave. So
would you agree with Ryan?
I mean, I wouldn't mind if Scales was to play, but I'd rather it didn't type thing, as we can say, get him out on loan. But Ideguchi I'd like to see back in the team.
Gucci gang.
Okay, quick fire questions for the panel from David Turnbull. Were you at Parker's last night? No, none of us were. Yes, fake fans. Are you going to the Merchant City on Saturday? Probably make an appearance.
No doubt will do.
And should we see the resurrection of Vasilis Barkas on Saturday? I believe we should.
I think it's title winner Vasilis Barkas now.
That's right. I was
and the Yeti as well.
So basically,
and Sorrow.
So basically, I was right the whole time about Vasilis Barkas coming to Celtic and being a success.
Yep.
I was right. People laughed at me. And now he's going to be walking away from Scotland.
Same amount of titles as John McLaughlin.
With 3 medals. 3 medals. Scottish Cup, League Cup, League title. Sorry, but that's more medals than Alan McGregor's racked up since he's returned to Rangers.
Yes.
So, just saying.
It's just facts, Ryan.
Just facts. We only speak in facts, no printers. That's how we work on this podcast. Best tweet from the Celtic admin last night, I've got to say, that Snoop Dogg edit was fantastic.
Yes.
Brilliant.
It's been sitting there a while. I like it. I like the Ryland one as well. I also like the fact that he's taken his time out of Eurovision to say Sinstut lads. But although he didn't directly mention us, which annoys me, he could be talking about somebody else for all I know.
Nah, he could be. Callum, are you hoping that he makes a surprise appearance on Saturday?
Aye.
There is no way. There is no way he's giving up Eurovision. I tell you that right now.
I doubt it. I really do. But there's time for him to get a flight.
Aye, we private chat.
So to Italy.
Aye. It's only 4 hours.
think he should, as the face of the Cinch.
Yes, you
That
know.
would be right.
I mean, we get remember in the old days, about 10, 15 years ago, the guy from Halifax, the baldy guy with the specs, the Halifax guy. Remember he gave over the title.
That's right. Aye.
So
Christ.
it should be Mr. Ryland.
Mr. Ryland Clark.
He is an absolute hero, though.
Yes.
Ryland.
Yeah, I do. What worst part is I used to hate him as well. So when he like, first came on the X Factor and that, and he was just a right dafty and
Did you
just didn't like him.
see when he was crying when he got through at the judges' houses, that when he got through to the live show, she was like, yeah,
My dad always makes the same joke. I can't remember the joke now. When somebody starts greeting on one of these programmes, I can't mind what he says. Makes the same joke all the time. We'll come back to me, baby.
Now, did you ever watch his Supermarket Sweep?
Oh, aye, did I?
Wasn't good.
It was alright.
Well, I mean, Supermarket Sweep was never good.
Whoa! Put some respect on Supermarket Sweep's name. I loved it. I had really fucking enjoyed a room full of trolley dollies. No, thank you.
Trolley dollies.
I loved.
No, it was the
Supermarket
worst
Sweep.
thing. My mum always says this. The worst thing about Supermarket Sweep. See when they were scanning all the stuff
Aye.
at the end, and the cashier people, they look at the screen and wave. My mum hates that. Like, you know how your parents maybe have like an irrational like TV host that they hate.
Aye.
That's what my mum hates.
Oh well, there we go.
Shout
Callum,
out to McGinley. McGinley.
name one player that should definitely leave this summer, Callum.
Personally, for his sake, I feel Julian.
Yeah.
I feel just personally for his career, he's come in, he's done what he's done at Celtic. He's ran his course, really. It feels, as much as I love the big man, he's for his own personal sake, has to go.
Right.
I could say quite a few here, but
One. Pick one.
Forest. But actually, I don't want to be that controversial. Sorrow, because Sorrow's got no chance of being in this team. He's too erratic for me.
Okay. See, the video was doing the rounds of his performance against
I seen Alpha Kaiser. He sold me on a dream or something.
Aye. I'm going to go for who has to leave, who has to go. Mikey Johnston. There's my pick.
On a loan or on a permanent?
Permanently.
Wow.
Never going to be good enough. I prefer not to speak.
I don't think that's all down to him though. I think it's down to the injuries that he picks up.
Yeah. I think he's been very unlucky.
I mean, I think the fact that he was on that Man of Solomon's Instagram agreeing with him when he was talking about how he's got compartment syndrome, that might be something to do with it. But, you know, I don't want to make any speculation, but
yeah,
he probably needs to leave for the sake of his career.
A lot of questions. Sideshow Bob was in with a question very similar to what we've answered. He's always in the comments, so shout out to him. We've got Sean asking how rough are you after last night. None of us are rough.
Nah,
surprise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't know about Kieran Old.
Check his pulse.
Where were you? Who were you with? And most importantly, what were you drinking as the final whistle blew to announce us the most dominant team in Scotland once again? I was in the living room with my dad drinking tea. Actually, I might have had a can of Lilt at the time, maybe. So there you go.
I was in the living room with my dad, drinking water.
And you were in the living room with your dad.
Think the Nelson Mandela's.
No, you having a wee stare.
But did not. It's a celebration on it, but
fair enough. Okay. So we all had very similar nights then in terms of where we were and who we were with. Is Kieran All's photos back in the back of milk cartons? A funny little man hasn't been seen in weeks. Oh, where did he's going? And when was the last time?
He's taller than he looks, by the way. Funny little
well,
man.
he's taller than you.
Well, that's not difficult.
I don't know what to say it right. Emma has asked, what improvements do we need to what improvements do we need to make progress in Europe next season?
Something I didn't even mention about the left back that's apparently coming in.
Oh yes, of course. But I think it's just about reinforcing this team. I think we need better backup options.
Depth.
Yeah, we've got good depth, but we need better depth. You know what I mean? Like, let's get as good as we can get.
It's good depth for the Scottish League, but I think in terms of Europe, we'll need to improve.
Yeah.
See if that Jan Koto's available from Braga, from Man City.
Oh, yeah. Callum, do you think any position in particular needs improved on?
I think, it's nice to see we've got a left back coming in. I think maybe another centre half. I think I'd like just to have that solidarity. I said, obviously, fairness to happen to the current centre half there. Right.
We're going to rattle through some more questions very quickly. We're hitting the hour and 5 minute mark. I didn't even realise how long we've been talking about some of these questions. Is Matt O'Reilly the sexiest footballer alive?
Absolutely.
Joe Hart.
Nah.
Joe Hart.
Nah.
Joe Hart.
Got a Starfelt. Love a big
Sharp,
See that picture of Starfelt last night?
He
I
looked
had a
as
photo
though
last night,
he
didn't do my justice, but
looked as though he was just at a fucking sub club or something. He just stuttered out at 4 in the morning. Let's see, any sore heads. No sore heads, honestly. Everybody, Aaron Hare asking if there are any sore heads. Favourite moment to see, we'll come to that. We'll save that for
I
our
think
end of
that's an
season.
award.
End
for
of
that,
season
aye.
awards sort of question. How far, Hannah asks, how far do we think we can go in Europe next season? I think that's...
Depends who we draw in.
Listen, I say it every year. It's like, no offence to the people asking the questions, but it's the one question that always annoys me. It's like, how far can we go? I'm like, well, you never know, because we could draw a group with Real Madrid, Liverpool, and fucking Inter Milan or something, and then, well, it can't be that, but just for example, for talking sake, and then you never know, you might get to a last 32 and then you suddenly draw fucking Bayern Munich or something. You never know what's going to happen. So I would love to see us go far, but it just depends on the luck of the draw.
Just happy to be there at this point.
Happy to be there, mate. Happy to be there. Champions this Postecoglou that rank McDonald's, KFC, Burger King and Five Guys chips in order. Wow.
I've never had Five Guys before ever,
Aye.
but I'm automatically going to put it above KFC
Oh,
chips.
KFC
'Cause
chips
they
are
are
disgusting.
an absolute disgrace. They're wedges, they're not chips. Burger King top, McDonald's second top.
Gotta go McDonald's, Five Guys, Burger King, KFC.
Burger King at third.
Yes.
My
Oh,
God,
nah.
they're unreal.
thanks.
Too thick.
Burger King first, Five Guys second, McDonald's third.
I'm a fool for McDonald's soggy chips, man.
Oh,
McDonald's abroad is so much better than McDonald's.
Oh,
at
yes,
home.
yes.
See the salt.
Yes.
They don't need any regulation on their salt.
Someone has said, we've got 2 more questions. There's a lot of good questions. So sorry if we've not read yours out this week. We'll try and get in. Someone said, I think you're fit, Ryan.
What one?
Now that's the question. It could be any of the 2.
Probably you, innit?
No. No, let's be fucking real here. Let's be real. If you want it to be me, I'll let that happen if you want it to be me, but I mean,
They've not got a picture.
I know they've not got a picture.
Who's on the other end?
Yeah, could be anybody. It could be a 40-year-old man.
Could be.
If it means physically fit, then absolutely not. Right, and here, this is a tremendous question. We'll save the best for last.
Oh,
Because
that's a great
I
one.
love Cal, right? Brilliant guy. He's TikTok. Shout out, go and follow Cal. I mean, if you don't follow him on TikTok, I'll be stunned. I think he's on like 400,000 followers or something on TikTok now. It's crazy the amount he's got. Makes me feel like I'm fucking unknown.
And
Yes, and he said pick a Celtic goal from the last 5 to 10 years and I'll recreate it on TikTok. Now that is a challenge and a half and I love it, but we've got to collectively decide a goal here for him to recreate on TikTok. His goal recreations are brilliant.
they are.
aye.
They're really good. What goal we want to pick? What are we picking? Want to pick something that's nice in the eye.
Something this season.
It's a sort of, well, it says 5 to 10 years to be fair, but
I think because we just won the league, it needs to be something from this year.
yeah, it would make sense to pick something from this year.
Gregor's goal against Michelin, baby.
There's a shout.
That's probably goal of the season, innit?
Want to pick that?
Yeah,
We'll
go
go
for
for
that.
that. There we go. McGregor's goal against Michelin in the European qualifiers earlier on this season.
That wasn't a good game,
Bye.
but it was a great
It
moment.
wasn't a great game, but it's a moment to pick. And there you go, Cal. There's your challenge for you from the boys at the Sellik the Thunder. And that does it for this week. We are finished for today as champions of Scotland, which is just absolutely phenomenal. Boys, thank you. It's been a great episode.
That's it. But we don't stop, we never stop. We'll
We
be here
never
next
stop.
week,
We'll
probably.
be here next week. We'll be here the week after that. We'll be here the week after that.
There's always stuff to talk about.
We'll be here the week after that. We'll be here for this. We'll be here.
And the next day.
Well,
and the next day.
They're there and they're always there. And God bless every one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. See you next time.